We're going to take a deeper dive now into the tools that are embedded within Kami. I got to this screen by going up to the Kami extension and clicking on it. Once I clicked on that, I was taken to this landing page. And you'll notice I have the options to open a document from Google Drive, open one from my computer, create a Google Classroom assignment, or create a new blank page. And I just want to show you the new blank page because this is something that you can use as a digital whiteboard, especially when it comes to like some of the remote teaching that we're undoubtedly doing. So I'm going to click on new blank page. And I'm going to choose just to have a single blank page. I do have the option, I could choose to have a lined paper or a grid paper or a sheet of music to annotate, but I'm going to stick with the blank page and I'm going to click add. And so now this launches me into Kami and the annotation tools. Notice too, you want to be sure that you have your teacher account, that you have the educator license, that you're signed in. So you can see this over here that I'm signed in. I have the educator license. And the reason you want to make sure that you're signed in and you want to make sure that your students are signed in is so that you have the full complement of Kami tools available to you. You'll notice over here, as it was loading, it's saving to my Kami uploads. I can move it out of that folder and I can put it into another folder. I can rename this document by clicking here. And then over here we have the zoom in and the zoom out. So right now though, I want to focus on some of the tools in this toolbar. And you'll notice right now that I have the descriptions. So I've expanded the toolbar. You can also collapse so that you don't see the description. So as you become more familiar with the tools, you don't need that. You can move it out of the way. I'm going to toggle that back on. So the first set, these are our selection tools. So I can use this to select annotations. Here's the hand tool. This also selects annotations. Underneath, we have the dictionary. So you do have an access to a dictionary built right in. This is super helpful to support our language learners. Underneath, we also have text to speech. And so within text to speech, I can have the previous sentence read again. I can move on to the next sentence. I can loop if necessary. I can play an entire page in its entirety. I can stop the reading. And here I can change the voice. So with a Mac, you're going to have many more options in terms of voices. On the Chromebook, it's a little bit more limited, but students can toggle between a male or a female voice. And underneath this, we can adjust the speed. So that can be particularly helpful for our students as well. Underneath the text to speech, this is the markup tool. And so this is where you're going to find those text highlighters, the box highlighter, my ability to strike through text or to underline text. And then here, obviously, we can choose from any of these colors that are already preloaded. But if I want additional choices, I'm going to click that palette and get more colors. Underneath the markup, we have the ability to comment and leave comments. So we can leave a text comment just like you would in, say, a Google Doc or a Google Slide. Most of us are very familiar with that at this point. But I also, in Kami, have the ability to leave voice comments. And this can be particularly helpful. So if I push out an assignment that requires annotations for students, I can actually use Kami to grade and provide feedback. And so I can leave audio support for students. I could leave video support. And then we have a new tool, the screen capture tool, that they've developed for fall 2020. And that's going to be kind of a separate training all on its own. But I did want to highlight that it is here. You have the ability to leave a screen capture and create a screen capture right within Kami and have it tied to this file. Again, underneath you have the option to change the different colors. Here we have the text box. And so right here, you're kind of thinking maybe, wow, that's kind of limited. All I can do is change the font size and change the color. No, no, no. So we're going to create a text box right now. And now notice, once I start creating the text box, I have the ability to change the font style. I can change the size, the spacing. I have bold, italics, underline, strike through. All of these options, I can change the background, superscript, subscript, numbered lists, bulleted lists, indents. All of the tools that you're kind of familiar with a regular word processor are really available here as well. The ability to link. This here is actually going to launch the formula tool or the math equation editor. And so you'll notice the equation editing tool is actually below the text box as well. So you can launch it from either place really. But I'm going to click this. And then I just want to show you, here's the equation editing tool. So you'll notice, I don't know if you can see this, but it's kind of created a text box within a text box. And so this is very similar in a lot of ways to that equation editing tool that kids use when they complete the New York State math assessments in grades 3 through 8. So this is a way that students can actually practice using a tool like what they would encounter on the state assessment. So if I'm done editing with the equation editor, I'm going to jump back into my text box. So notice I moved my cursor in the text box, and that's what launched these tools again. Notice, yes, they have access to emojis, super fun. I can reset the formatting. And then over here, I can engage voice typing. Now, the very first time that you click on voice typing, it's going to ask you to allow your microphone. If by chance a student does not allow the microphone, you're going to be able to check that by going over here to this lock that's in front of the URL. When I click that, you'll be able to see, what did I allow? So I did allow the microphone, so I'm going to be able to use that feature. So I'm going to click back in here. 2 + 2 = 4. Equals 4. So obviously I need to stop talking and turn off the voice typing because it is pretty much able to pick up exactly what I'm saying. So again, if you're using voice typing in the classroom, when you have multiple students, definitely if they have the earbuds with the microphone attached, that's going to be super helpful to cut down on like the background noise and picking up the voices of students sitting nearby. Very easy to edit. So I'm going to take this out and then take out this here. So that's really what the text box feature has. Here I can rotate the text box and always have the ability to resize the text. Now if I click off of this annotation and I want to get back in, I want to make further edits, I'm just going to click back into that text box. If I click off, if I'm on another tool, I can use the select tool. And again, get back in. Underneath the text box, we have that equation editor. Okay, so very similar to what we were using in the text box feature. I can insert symbols from here. Notice too, now that I've clicked here, I have these additional options where I can change the background color, I can change the size of the font, I can undo and I can delete the annotation. Underneath the equation editing tool, I do have the drawing tool. Again, I can adjust the stroke thickness and the transparency and the color. So I'm just going to quickly draw something there for you. Underneath, we have the shapes tool. You have lines, triangles, circles. Again, the ability to change the colors on these and the thickness. I have the eraser, so I can erase all annotations. Or I can erase individual annotations. I can insert an image. So I can insert an image from my computer, from Google Drive. I can use the Google search and search for images. And I can insert stickers. Super fun. So this is particularly helpful for younger students to provide some encouragement. When we're scoring, we can add the stickers here. And again, you'll notice when you click, you can change and delete just like that. Underneath, you'll notice the signature tool. So if I need to draw my signature, and so specifically I'm thinking of myself when I upload an attendance transmittal, I can create a new signature. I can upload an image that I have saved on my computer. I can draw my signature using the trackpad on our laptops, or I can draw my signature on a phone and upload it from there. Once I have the signature that I want to use, you'll notice I've got a couple of them here. And even though they're kind of in the wrong orientation, not a big deal. Once I select the one that I want to insert, I can drop it where I need it. And then I have the ability to rotate. And I can resize to make it fit whatever space I need. So those are basically the tools that are available in Kami for annotating. I do want to make a point of showing some of the information over here. So I can open up a file for annotation right within Kami. I can share this document similar to how you would share a Google Doc. I can copy the link to the document. I can adjust the sharing permissions. I can add restricted users and give them specific permissions, all within Kami. I can print a document. And then here, save. I want to talk about the save feature. So as I said earlier, Kami auto saves every 30 seconds. However, when you're finished with your annotations, you should make sure that you save your annotations. And this is especially important for our students because I know we had some issues in the spring. We want to make sure that our students are saving their annotations and then turning in their assignments. So save, save, save. Go to the floppy disk. Next to that, we have the ability to download. So again, if I needed to download my attendance transmittal to turn in, I can do that. Next to that is the help. And so here I can access Kami's Help Center and I can email them for support. So again, during the crisis teaching in the spring, I know we were running into some issues. Things were not loading correctly, annotations not maybe saving correctly. And a lot of that had to do with the abundance of users accessing tools at one time, and they had kind of outgrew themselves very quickly. So definitely during that time, they were in constant communication with myself and other members of the tech department, and they were very responsive to our email support. So if you're going to email them for support, and I definitely encourage that, try to send them a screenshot of exactly what you were seeing, what issue you're running into. It definitely helps them troubleshoot it a little bit better. And again, you have links to their Facebook groups and their Twitter groups, and you can follow them on Instagram, all that good stuff. I always say, if you see like this hamburger icon or you see the three dots, it always tells you there's something more. You want to explore that. So this is where you can access some additional tools that Cami has. So the split and merge. So if I needed to split and merge a document, so say I have this giant PDF and I don't need all of the pages in the PDF anymore, I'm going to use that split and merge to break that PDF up and maybe reorganize it a little bit better. There's also OCR for scanned PDFs. I can access the document properties. I can set up notifications. So if I was working collaboratively with someone else and I want to be notified when changes are made, I can set that up here. You'll also notice that I have the ability to create a Google assignment right from within Cami. We're going to go into that in a little bit more detail in just a minute, but you do have that ability right here. I can jump to different pages if I had multiple pages in this document. I can restore annotations. I can rotate the entire document. And I can get different page views in presentation mode. So always kind of check if you see those three lines or you see the three dots, it always tells you that there's a little bit more for you there. Also, you'll notice I just scrolled down because I wanted to show you that even though I only chose to have one blank page, I can always add more pages. So again, if you're using this as a digital whiteboard and you run out of room and you need more space, that's there as well. So that's the Cami tools very quickly. If you have any questions, definitely send me an email.